will be recorded and you'll be able to watch it on demand. We'll send it out to anyone that had signed up, anyone that maybe couldn't make it if you have any colleagues, and we'll also be posting it online to pass on to anyone you might need to. So thank you for joining us today. My name's Tasha. I am the head trainer here at PayCat. Today we have the lovely Loma as our guest speaker for today's webinar.
Hi, everyone. Before we get started, I was wondering if everyone can share their LinkedIn profile link, and I'll show you where you can find that actually shortly. So if everyone can jump on, go to their LinkedIn, and then click on their name. The URL on top, that would be your LinkedIn profile. So if everyone can start sending that through in the chat so we can select 3 to do an audit, that would be awesome. Let's see. All right, perfect. So we'll get started. So I can see people are joining from Melbourne, Newcastle, Sydney, Brisbane, and all of that. So that's really good. Okay. Oh, amazing. We're getting some links as well. Okay, perfect. So I wanted to speak about LinkedIn and why it matters for NDIS providers. Like I know there's a lot of NDIS providers that are active on LinkedIn already, but I don't think a lot of people realize just how many connections they can make on LinkedIn. So for example, I just looked it up this morning. In terms of people in the NDIS, there's about 190,000 connections currently in Australia. It could be more, but it was just the result that I got through the filter that I did. And LinkedIn is really good for a number of reasons. So like LinkedIn is good for example, like noticing things, looking at trends, seeing who's doing what on LinkedIn, and kind of like getting to know more about your potential referral partnerships before you approach them or speak to them. I'm a big believer that on LinkedIn, you do not want to be spamming people. You do not want to be sending messages that are not invited and all of that. So I'll walk you through a bit of how that works in a little bit. But yeah, LinkedIn can be a really good tool because you can get very, very targeted about who you're speaking to, who you're starting conversations with, and then later on building like a more meaningful relationship. Like you can, for example, start to meet them in person later on. You can have events together and a number of different things. So LinkedIn is a good starting point just to scan the market, see what's out there, and then target who you want to be speaking to. The other important thing about LinkedIn is your positioning or how you describe yourself on LinkedIn. So you don't want to be just a general person. You want to start with thinking about, okay, I'm an NDIS provider. What type of participants do I work with? What type do I work with the best? And then, all right, based on that, what can I offer that are like services that are in demand, services that are valuable for those kind of participants? So like, it's not just a random exercise. You need to actually think about your participant and the type of participants that you work with, and then develop a persona or a profile that is tailored around who you're serving and based on that, who you want to connect with. So I'll give you an example. So for example, I'll use us as an example. We work with NDIS providers. We help them grow through a few things. We help them develop their strategy, their growth strategy, and their operations on the back end. And like this is actually my older positioning, but I'll show you what that looks like now. So one of the core things that we believe in when we work with providers is inclusion. So you can see here that I mentioned that I'm a disability and inclusion strategist first, and then I talk about what I achieve for my target customer or my target audience, which is 3xing their revenue growth and things like that. And then I direct people to go to my feature section, which is right here. So with me and with Magna, we had to kind of dig deep, understand who we want to work with, and then position ourselves as the answer for that type of provider or for that type of company. So there's a lot of thought that you want to put into the profile before you actually put anything in your profile. So one of the things that we realized that we like, the type of providers that we like working with, was providers that are trying to scale up. Maybe they've got 5 million in revenue in a year. So you can see that my about section is positioned around that. And so yeah, like it's a powerful tool for networking. So the other thing that I wanted to tell you, like about what you can do with LinkedIn. LinkedIn can be a tool that you can understand your connection universe. So as a provider, for example, if you are working with high intensity participants mainly, you're working a lot in the hospital discharge scene, you're working with a lot of participants coming out of hospitals, then you've got a connection universe of people you can reach out to on LinkedIn. So that can include maybe people in hospitals, social workers, allied health workers. It can include, if it's also a physical disability, that can include insurance companies. So there's a lot of things that can start just from LinkedIn. And does anyone have any questions so far? I'll just wait a couple of seconds and see. Thank you guys for the LinkedIn profiles.
If anybody does have any questions, feel free to pop them into the Q&A box down at the bottom. And if we have a lot, we can go through them at the end as well.
All right. So keep sharing your profiles because I'm going to select 1 to 3, depending on our time, just to do a quick audit and see how is your positioning and all of that. Okay. So in terms of like what I was talking about with the LinkedIn connection universe. So this is an example of a LinkedIn connection universe we did for one of our clients, and it was centered around a specific service and a specific process. And we use LinkedIn to come up with who she can connect with on LinkedIn and who she can reach out to. And the result of that, because she was very targeted about who she's speaking with and what is her messaging, so what she's going to say when she reaches out to those people, a lot of, like, she got referrals from within the first week. She got, I think, 5 or 6 referrals within the first week. And then that kept on going on as the weeks went on. So that's the power of being targeted about who you are, who you serve, what type of services you provide, and then as a result of it, who you need to be speaking to on LinkedIn. So yeah, and I kind of know my stuff about LinkedIn, I guess. I hope I do. With my rankings, I'm top 1% on LinkedIn Australia and top 1% in LinkedIn worldwide. I'm also the number 1 content creator on LinkedIn for disability and number 2 for business strategy. And this was a surprise, but now I'm number 6. Oh, thank you guys. Number 6 for disability worldwide on LinkedIn. So I have put in a lot of effort onto LinkedIn. So I wanted to simplify it for you guys so you can take away something that is actionable and you can do it with your own business. Okay. So moving on in terms of LinkedIn. So there's a few things that you want to think about in your profile. The first thing is here, the banner. That banner has a few elements to it. The first element is your unique value proposition, could be your promise, and that would be the big statement here. The second element is how you get that done. And we like to limit it to 3. Don't do any more than 3. You don't want to have it crowded, or otherwise the message gets lost. The other thing that you want to have on your banner is your social proof, which is why we have like Google, our Google ratings here, and then a CTA. So there's 4 important elements to a banner, which is the unique value proposition, how you get it done, your social proof, and then your CTA. It sounds simple, but it's not. It takes a lot of research and thinking and effort to get it nailed down. The other thing that you want to think about is your profile picture. You want it to be, if you've got your picture on the banner, you want it to be different. And the other thing, let me just pull it on this screen. It's probably a bit bigger. Okay. Just make it a little bit bigger. Okay. So the picture needs to be forward facing. Obviously, I didn't follow that advice, but if you can have it forward facing, I'll walk you through the technical specifications actually here. It's 25% zoomed in, and it needs to be a high quality picture and recent. Okay. So that's the top, just the top of the profile. Now, the other thing that you want to think about is your pronouns. So pronouns are actually don't necessarily need to be your pronouns. They can be 3 words that you use to describe yourself and what you do. So that's what I've done here, and you can see a lot of LinkedIn creators also do this, where as their pronouns they actually say what they do. The next thing that you want to look at is, thanks Heather. The next thing that you want to look at is the header section here. You want this to be, the most important part of this header is the first 45 characters. It's a bit challenging to know how many are 45, but you can kind of put it on a Word document, count how many characters and all of that, and go from there. Why does that matter? Because when you are commenting and when you're appearing in different places across LinkedIn, people will only see the first 45 characters. So that's the first thing you want to think of. The other thing you want to think of is you want to have 3 things mentioned in your header as well. One of them is the promise. Second one is social proof. And then the third one is call to action. So it's very similar to the banner, but it's said in different words. So they're kind of working together to complete the picture for whoever is visiting your profile. The next section that you wanna think about is your contact info. I see a lot of people disregarding this one, but it's really good to have this one completed, especially if you want to get phone calls through LinkedIn, if you want to get emails, whatever it is, just put it in there so people can reach you. And you always want to have more than 500 connections if possible, because that kind of shows that, okay, you've been on LinkedIn for a while, you are connecting with people and all of that. If you are a creator, people will also see the number of followers here. So that's just the top section. There's also the about section. Honestly, don't stress about that much, but there's a few ways that you can structure your about section. If anyone has reached your about section, it means that they're very invested in what you do and they really want to know more. And okay, I can see there's more LinkedIn profiles coming in. All right. Does anyone have any questions? I can see one question. Should you be on premium? That depends on what you're trying to do. So premium is good in terms of giving you more visibility on LinkedIn. But if what you're wanting to do is build relationships, I would recommend Sales Navigator. And yes, I believe the recording will be available. Okay. So yeah. Basically, you want to be on Sales Navigator if you want to be able to kind of be targeted about who you're reaching out to. And the reason for that is LinkedIn, for example, if I'm on LinkedIn and I wanted to search, let's see, I was trying to look up a few of you and I couldn't find the exact person. So for example, if I wanted to look up Lara, and then you can see there's a bunch of filters here. Companies, posts, people. So there's a few filters that you can filter what you're looking for through. So for example, we want to look at people in Australia. You can even have it by connection of or follower of and all of that. So these are the filters that you get on LinkedIn. But if you go to Sales Navigator and you want to click here, so like go to leads, you can see, okay, I'll do it here. You can see that there's a lot of filters that you can use, a lot more. And the other thing with then the regular LinkedIn is when you look up something, it limits the actual number of results that you get. So that's one thing that you want to be cognizant of. I recommend Sales Navigator, honestly, for building relationships. Premium is just, I honestly don't know what is the clear benefit behind Premium, except that maybe it just makes your profile boosted and all of that. But if you're looking to be specific, I recommend Sales Navigator. So you can see here, there's a lot of like filters. You can get really specific about who you're wanting to reach out to through Sales Navigator. So back to the LinkedIn profile. The next thing that you want to think of is your top skills. You want to have a limit of top 5 skills on your profile. Whatever skills you choose, they want to be also strategic to who you serve and all of that. And they want to be relevant to what you're doing. Setting up a services page is also good. We've seen results from people setting up services in terms of getting reach outs about their services through LinkedIn and all of that. Now, the other section that I wanted to speak about was the featured section. In my profile, for example, my header links people to my, it directs people to my featured section. And in my case, my featured section has a couple of options. Well, it used to, now it's got one action that they can take, which is like, if they want to work with me, they click on this, and that will take them to where they need to go and all of that. So that feature section is here. With experience, there's something interesting that you want to keep in mind is that the experience section is actually a word bank for Google. So whatever you have in here, Google will use it as an SEO word bank. So whatever words that you choose the words that you want to have in here strategically. And you can have multiple headlines under the same experience, kind of like this, to kind of make it look like a landing page and maximize the number of words or SEO words that you have on your profile and all of that. This is skills as well. So I would recommend generally that you put your top skills under your about section here because it's prominent here. And then as a result, it will also show up here. And it will also show up under the job titles that you say it's relevant to and all of that. Recommendations are also good because it shows that you're reliable, you're a real person, you're trustworthy and all of that. So I guess that's it in terms of the profile. This is a checklist to kind of walk you through what you want to have. So like the specifications of the pictures. We've got some headline templates here that you can look at if you needed help to create your own headline. I do have one that's specific to NDIS providers here as well. And for the about section, there's a few templates and all of that, which is, you can be a story. It can be like PAS framework, which is problem, agitation, solution. And then I put an option for NDIS, which is also a simple format. So that would be towards the end of this resource. What else? Yes, you can. You can comment on company LinkedIn pages, but with the comments for the pages, they don't generally get as much visibility as comments on other people's profiles. So you also want to be targeted in terms of like, if you can comment more on people, that works out better for your visibility. Okay. So this is some things you can think of about, like some tips as well on building all these profile sections. Some examples of banners of other creators and all of that. So before we do the profile audit, I wanted to ask everyone if they can give me 3 words to describe who they are and what they do. Just 3 words. 5 is fine if you can't do 3. I know it's hard. Just choosing 3 words. Okay. While I get that, I'm just going to look at the questions. So is it under the Q&A or is it under the chat? Yeah, Tasia, is it under the...
Yeah, I think it'd be under the chat. I know there's one question in the Q&A box, but yeah, everyone should have access to the chat too, to pop in their 3 words.
Okay, so that, yeah, the Q&A was answered in the Q&A box, but let me see through the comments what we have here. Just put together a LinkedIn profile because I was told I needed it, but haven't felt confident to add information. Oh, awesome. Okay. No, definitely fill it up, Jenna. It's going to be really good for your business and getting visibility and kind of like understanding who's in your market that you can chat to. And what's the next question? How do you create leads on LinkedIn? So LinkedIn is for providers. It's not necessarily leads that you would create. You would be creating referral partnerships. What that means is that you will use LinkedIn to build a relationship with people that are relevant to you and what you do. And then later on, they will potentially refer you people for whatever service that you're good at, whatever type of participants that you work with. Leads for the NDIS, that's what you're talking about in terms of leads. But if you're in a different industry, then yes, you can create or generate leads on LinkedIn, but just not for the NDIS, because generally it's more of the like a B2B marketing for NDIS providers. Okay, what else do we have? I don't have a LinkedIn. Oh, Laura doesn't have a LinkedIn. That's why I can't find it. That makes sense. Can you open it? Recommendations on improving the company LinkedIn page. The company LinkedIn page is not as important as your profile. It is, but you need to have like some minimum standards of what you have on your LinkedIn page. So whatever positioning that you have for your personal LinkedIn profile, you want to transfer that into your company. I found that display pages do well with better than company pages. So if you do have a company page, maybe you want to have a display page for a specific objective under it. So maybe you'll have a page for your business and then a display page for networking, for example, something like that. So that's what you would do with your company LinkedIn. What's your strategy for outreach to make relevant connections? Should providers connect with other providers? So you want to be connecting to people who are complementary to what you do. So if you, for example, you work with a specific type of participants, maybe high physical needs, maybe you can connect with someone who's serving psychosocial. If you are a SIL provider, you can connect with a center provider, for example. That's another thing that you can do. And The other thing that I wanted to mention, also, like, for example, not just the complementary people, you want to think outside the NDIS into the big community. Like, if I'm working with a participant, who else is going to be serving that participant outside of the NDIS? So, for example, if they're a psychosocial participant, you'll know that sometimes they have a risk of homelessness, for example. That's one of the scenarios, but this is like just a subset of psychosocial. So like maybe you'll think about shelters, refuges, not-for-profits, things like that. You want to think about maybe mental health wards, and you want to think about psychiatrists, for example. So you want to think outside the NDIS as well. And whatever you do, of course, like don't try to sell them. So if you end up connecting with people that way, you want to keep it organic. You want to first start by interacting with their content, their comments, whatever it is. Just show them, be around for a while, and then reach out to them. And when you reach out, you always want to focus on starting conversations, not selling, if that makes sense. All right, what's the next question? Thank you, Martin, for your feedback. Appreciate it. And the other thing, advocate. Oh, I love that, Jenna. Advocate neurodivergent, participant-focused, solid holistic care. Love it. Maybe we'll do a profile audit on Jenna Lee after this. Okay. Marian, I had to open LinkedIn to attend the, okay. Any training? No, LinkedIn is absolutely wonderful when your business is NDIS. It's just not used to generate. It's not used to generate direct leads. It's used to kind of understand the space that you're in, build relationships that are targeted towards your business, which will get you referrals later on. So like with the providers that we work with, once they start being active on LinkedIn, they do start to get a lot more referrals, and they do start to build a lot more relationships. So it's actually absolutely brilliant for providers, but you do not generate direct leads. LinkedIn is for Reels. Is it good to upload Reels on LinkedIn? No, LinkedIn is not a native video platform. I see a lot of providers downloading Reels because that's what they do, I assume, on Instagram. Instagram is another platform that's not really good for providers. It's just the way that it's structured and all of that. Like I would say for providers, Facebook and LinkedIn would be the two main channels that they need to be on. With LinkedIn, if you want to be building a community, maybe some pictures, like text-only posts or text and picture posts, things like that, that would be good. Carousels would be good, but it's an overkill for a provider. I do them because I am a consultant, so it makes sense for me. But for a provider, maybe like pictures and text mixed with some videos. But just to keep in mind, it's not a native video platform. So like, for example, if I go on my feed, you'll see it somewhere in the middle. Sometimes they take it out. There was a feed. Okay, they took out the place where there's videos. But if you, for example, if I play this, no. Sometimes it'll show you other videos after. But yeah, there used to be a video feed in the middle, but it seems that they took it out. What else? Multiple picture posts do well as well. Like that's something you could do. You could post multiple pictures with a post that does well. What else? Okay. If you Upload a video. Do you have to be careful with that about adding music? I don't know if you can, like you can add music before. Copyright permission. I guess like just getting, I'm just answering the question from Alistair, which is like if you upload a video from an event you attended, do you have to be careful about adding music? Any copyright permission concerns? So music, if you want to add music, you want to do it before you upload the video, not after. And the other thing that you want to make sure that you have is, I guess, like permission from the people in the video. But copyright, I don't know what other copyright risks there would be. But yeah, just getting permission from people. So, okay. I think that's it in terms of the questions. I wanted to look up Jenna Lee. Jenna, do you have a LinkedIn? You're welcome. You're welcome, Alistair. Thank you. Thank you for the questions.
I think Jenna already sent her LinkedIn in the chat, just up at the top.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look for it. Jenna. Yeah, I can see it. Okay, so I like what you sent in the chat. So you want to possibly add it in here. I like the profile picture. With this, I think a banner that's more optimized for LinkedIn that shows like what's unique about Solid Holistic Care and what are the 3 main services that they do that would do a lot better. What else? You've got the 500 plus connections, which is good. Contact info. Yeah, it's all in there, which is great. Services. Advertising. Okay, so services, that makes it like, as a business development manager, you want to have something that's specific to the NDIS. So for example, maybe personal care is an option. If you do any nursing care, you can provide it here as a service. Maybe housing, like they keep changing the services. So you want to look for services that are relevant to what holistic care does, not specifically to what you do as a business development manager. That would be my feedback. There's no about section, which would be good. Let me just see services. It's good that you've got the location. We provide disability support service client across Hunter Region, Newcastle. Yeah. So if you can reflect the services that are mentioned here in your services, that would be good. And recommendations also would be a good thing. There's no about section, but yeah, I like what you sent. So if you can more about the service. Yeah. No, yeah. I love what you sent on the chat. So don't be afraid. I know it's like it's a bit scary to put yourself out there, but just talk about more about what you said, like the 3 words that you sent on the chat and why that's important to you. That would be like a great thing to add to your about section. What else? So that would be what I have to say about Jenna's profile. But yeah, amazing work with the 3 words. That was difficult. Okay, let me see who else have we got here. Thank you, Jenna. This one. All right, who else do we have? I've seen a few profiles as well. All right, I'll do Alistair. I can see we've we've had a few questions by Alice, so I'll do that as well. Okay. So business development manager. Okay. Same advice as Jenna. So you want to mention a bit like about what you guys do as a provider. Like I guess like saying that you're a business development manager can also sometimes stop you from making connections. And the reason for that is like some people in the market have the impression that business development managers will try to build relationships to try and get referrals. So like if I were you, I'd avoid it. I know it's a bit silly, but like, yeah, I would avoid it in the header. I would talk about more about what type of, yeah, maybe a relationship or community or something, like just not business development manager, because it's I know it's a common title, but it just, when you reach out with a different title, you're likely to get more responses. So in the header, I'll talk more about the type of participants that you work with, the services, what's unique, maybe a CTA. The banner would be something about sensible care, the top 3 services, maybe a unique sentence about what they do. Let me see, can I see your, I don't think you have your, oh, there it is. Okay, so the information is here, which is great. And you have an interest, okay. I'm very approachable. Yeah, I love that. So if you're reading this, then you clearly have an interest in understanding what it is that I do differently. Yep. I like that beginning. I like this in general, but if you can flesh it out a little bit more with the templates that I provided in the resource, that would be great. What else? This is featured. What's this? Google TV commercial. Can I ask why this is in your featured section? Just curious. I mean, it's cute, but like, because I'm thinking this would make sense, for example, if you were, yeah. Yes, exactly, yeah. It needs to be updated for the positioning and dynamic internal sales, owner enterprise. Okay. I would add the skills as well and the service, create a services page for the business. Application. Recommendations is good as well. If you can get some recommendations. Clauses is good. Okay. Yeah. With the featured section, if you've got something that's unique about sensible care, then put it in here. Programs in general do well. So if the business has, asking a few people would be great for recommendations. For the features section, just adding something about programs. If you got any programs, they do well here in general. If there's an upcoming event, you can add it here. So there's a few ways that you can use this to kind of drive more traffic to whatever it is, whatever objective you're working on at that point. And yeah, that would be my recommendations. Let me just see. Okay. All right, we'll choose one more. Who do we have as well? So Martin is not here. I think he left his LinkedIn profile. Okay, I'll Harris. Okay, let me look at Harris. Manager, Advanced Services, PTY Ltd with experience in health project management. I'm guessing this is your business from the way that you have written your headline here. Is it your business, Harris? I would structure this a bit differently. So holistic 24/7 care, that's the provider. Health manager. Oh, okay, so that's the old, okay, it's not your business. That's the old role, okay. So now you're in holistic 24/7 care. So similar thing, I would talk about more about the business that you're working at, something special about what you do in particular, like what's different about what you do versus other people. I know it's very individual. I know you're in operations, so it could be that you are really good in what services do you guys have? Let me see. So you want to say something that's related to the services that you guys provide, that's under core support and community access. Okay. Accommodation. So maybe something about providing, like working with a specific type of participants better than other providers, or something that is unique about your business plus you, or about the business that you're working at, which is holistic 24/7 care. So something unique about them with an intersection of something unique about you. I would add that to your heading. I can see the contact info also doesn't have migrant refugee clients. Yeah. That would be a good thing to add. So you can add that here in the heading. That would be a good thing to add. And yeah, the skills as well. About section, if it's like a story-based about, that works a lot better in the NDIS. Recommendations as well. Having a services page is also good. So mention we want to step away from it. We already have AIWA as a dominant brand. What's AIWA? AIWA. Is it one of the businesses or? Even if you're stepping away from it, I mean, it is a unique thing, but maybe mention the next unique thing if that is something that you want to step away from. And the banner and all of that. So that would be NDIS and aged care provider. Okay. So, okay. That would be my recommendations for you. Did anyone else have any questions about LinkedIn, their profiles, anything? All right. Well, I think we will wrap it up then. I will send you, Tasia will send you the resource here. Tasia, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if any NDIS providers want to reach out or get in touch to work with you guys, what would the best steps be from their end?
Yeah, so reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm just gonna put my LinkedIn profile link in the chat. You can message me on LinkedIn, or you can, if you wanted to book an appointment directly, you can use this link here. But let me add my profile there. Thanks, Jenna. Yeah, I can see that. Heather, your profile is amazing, by the way. So okay. So reach out to me on LinkedIn. And the 3 words are really, yeah, I love the 3 words. I'm obsessed with them. They do have a character limit. I wanted to choose something else, but yeah, you'll figure it out. Heather I'm sure you'll have something amazing. So yeah, Jen, I can see Jen has her hand up. What did Jen send? Jen.
I think she's just put something in asking to review her page, Assisted Lifestyle Pty Ltd.
Assist Lifestyle. Public care. Psychosocial. Social population. I like this part, and I like the industry tells you quickly what type of participants that you work with, which is good. With this, you can probably take this out because it's just it's repeating your name and all of that. Like, I like that you talk about the areas here, but maybe talk about like in a form of we. So we do this special thing for these type of participants or for these type of clients. And then you have it here where you talk about the areas. Support workers turning. The services, if you can actually cut this down, that's too many services. Like assistance with daily life, assistance with social and community parts. These are words that are like very broad. So if you can make it more specific, improve health and well-being. Because I know you guys do recovery coaching and support coordination. So these 2 are good. Supported getaways, that's good. I'm assuming it's the same as this. You can say for core support, maybe building independence with daily life as a service instead of what you have here. Building routines, helping psychosocial participants build routines, because with psychosocial routine is a very key thing. And it's also part of recovery coaching. I mean, you do say it here, but if you can have it here. We understand not one care plan fits it all. Okay. Yeah, if you can shorten that one as well. What else? This is about healing posts. Guess the number of eggs. Okay. We'll change them. And I would stay away from posts like this. Those don't do well in general. And my other recommendation is maybe posting about things that are like unique to what you do. So just sharing unique insights about what you guys do and some things that, for example, you'd like to see change in the industry, things like that. That would be good. yeah, there's a lot of things you can do on LinkedIn. Awesome. Okay. It will require assistance, Maria. Yeah, sure. Feel free to reach out. Maria. Can't see the full name. Maria. Or is it Marion? Can't see. I think it's Marion. Yeah. I'll add you. Yeah, Marion. I'll add you, Marion, before we go. Marion. Okay. I don't think you're on LinkedIn. I was going to add you in case you wanted to, you said you wanted help with a few things. So I can't add you. So if you can add me, and yeah. I get like being professional on LinkedIn is good. But also like showing some character and like who you are is really good on LinkedIn. It's really powerful. And so, yeah, I think if you guys can add me and if you wanted to ask other questions, I'm happy to answer that. Let me just put my link again, because when I try to look you guys up, I can't always find you. Like I want to change. I want to be a change to ensure. If you want to be a change maker, then just talk about things you want to change. Like start posting about things that you want to see are changing and all of that. Look, I'll show you one of the posts that did really well, and it was about change for us. So for example, there was a post that I created a while ago about the what it was. There was this one, it did really well, which is about it's talking about the closures of NDIS providers using things that they're not complying with that are sometimes unexpected, like for example the long service leave here. So that was a post that did well, and it had a few reposts. The other one that did really well, so this is another one. It didn't do as well, but this was another one about things I wanted to see change. What else? But the one that I wanted to show you was, where's the AAT? So I posted something about the tribunal and how a lot of, where is it? No, it's somewhere here. I know it's somewhere here. There was a post that I made a while ago about like how 70% of NDIS decisions change in the tribunal. So basically, if a participant didn't get what they wanted in their NDIS plan, once they go to tribunal, in 70% of the times, the decision would actually be changed. So strange that it's not here. Was it here? No. Okay. Not here. I was gonna send it to you, but where is it? Is it here? Yeah. Nope. Nope. This one. So this post was very short. It was just showing rather than telling. And you can see it was reposted 21 times. So yeah, these posts actually do pretty well on LinkedIn. And yeah. Thank you, Jenna.
Perfect. Well, if we have no more questions, we can probably wrap it up here. Thank you so much, Loma, for sharing your knowledge. That was amazing insights, and it was a really great hands-on webinar. So really appreciative. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll be sending out a recording within 24 hours, so everyone will have access to that. And you can feel free to pass it on to anyone else that might take use of that. Yeah, well, thanks very much. And I hope everyone enjoys the long bank holiday.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.